Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy. Super cold out here in the woods of Southwest Virginia. We were at 65 just a few days ago, and now we're at 18 according to my thermometer in the house. And I'm heading down the mountain here in this 2016 Scion IA, which is basically a Mazda 2 in Scion garb. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but rather than talk about the car right now, I wanted to talk about some debate that's going on the website, epautos.com, between a person whom I'm referred to as a kind of Walter Bachian person, who is arguing that blackmail is not necessarily a violation of the libertarian non-aggression principle, which makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Because for me, the standard is, have you harmed somebody? Are you using the threat of harm to obtain an advantage that you would not get otherwise, in other words, against the person's free will? Seems pretty clear-cut to me that blackmail, and the common usage of that word, falls into the category of trying to profit at the expense of someone else by coercing them, by putting them under duress, by threatening to harm them unless they deliver or cooperate. This person also presented the argument that it's a contract issue, which struck me as kind of bizarre because properly defined, at least as I define it, a contract is a mutually agreeable understanding, a formal agreement between two parties who are, and here's the key thing, not coerced. Each party freely enters into the contract. Blackmail involves the opposite of that. You're being coerced, you're being pressured, you're under duress. And any contract to which you are an unwilling party is by definition not a contract. You might remember the classic scene in the original Godfather where Michael Corleone talks about how Luca Brasi, his enforcer, got a guy to sign the contract because his signature or his brains would be on the contract. I think that was what the line was. And that's the classic example of a contract under duress. So I don't know what is up with the Bachian side of the libertarian movement. They get into these kind of contortionist arguments about blackmail and about contract, and also they want to quibble about whether it's an NAP issue if physical force is not involved. I don't see how that's the case. For me, it's not the question of physical force per se. It's the issue of whether harm is caused or immediately threatened. If I, for example, ball up my fist and it's clear that I might hit you unless you do what I tell you to do, the fact that I don't actually hit you is nonetheless doesn't negate the fact that you've been threatened, you're under duress, that you worry that you're going to be harmed unless you do what I want you to do. So that's the standard that I would apply. Maybe it just takes a little bit more precise definition for people to understand the point, but it seems pretty straightforward and clear-cut to me that the harm caused standard is what applies. If you're trying to hurt somebody, if you're threatening to hurt somebody instinctively as well as intellectually, that sure seems to me to be a violation of the libertarian non-aggression principle. Conversely, if whatever it is that you're doing isn't hurting anybody, it's not your intention to hurt anyone, and no one can objectively say, look, what that person is doing clearly constitutes a direct, specific threat of harm, that you're trying to hurt someone, then it's probably something that you have every right to do and to be left in peace to do. So that's my little short rant for the morning, and I'll have this up on the site later today, and later in the week I should have a review of this Mazda in drag. And thanks as always for viewing, and keep warm, and we'll catch you next time.